to Dietitian in Your Kitchen and Barb at Curves.
Hi, everybody. I'm here to talk to you about how to get curves strong. And Laura and I are going to help us with nutrition and action.
We're going to talk about nutrition and exercise, talk about that healthy lifestyle. I'm Laura Poland, and I'm a dietitian with Dietitian in Your Kitchen. And so, Barb, why don't you start by showing us a couple of the exercise pieces of equipment there, because I think the equipment can be a little overwhelming and intimidating to some people. And why don't you talk us through that a little bit, using some of the equipment?
Curves is a facility especially designed for women that offers complete 30-minute workouts that's fun, fast, and safe. And in 30 minutes, you are going to exercise every muscle in your body. We don't skip any of it. And then when you're all finished, we have a big stretching machine back there that we're going to stretch every muscle back out. It's important that you stretch after you exercise. I am in Westerville, Ohio. I am the only Curves left in Central Ohio. And I forgot to get my band. I'm going to run back while Laura's talking, and because you can do my curves on command in your own home. So I'll talk about that.
Right.
But the way the facility is set up, the circuit, you do go around, and you go around twice. You are on a machine for 30 seconds, and if you can hear this, change station. Every 30 seconds, it prompts you to change. So you go from a machine to a recovery pad, then back to a machine.
Okay.
Set up so upper body, lower body.
Okay. Why don't you show us that upper body?
Okay, upper body. This is the Pec Deck.
Okay.
And you just sit on it, put your arms here, and move them together. I am exercising my pectoral, my rhomboid, my trapezius, and my latissimus dorsi. So I'm getting my pectorals, my trapezius, and back here, latissimus dorsi. Move to the next station. So I'm getting my back.
Yeah, that's all.
And now, we're doing all this. Yeah. So I'm really exercising all up here. Some of us have trouble lifting. We're going to get that strong.
Yeah.
Plus, we don't build you up big muscles. But if you like wearing sleeveless tops, you got to have a little bit of definition in here. We got to get rid of this down here. So that's what that does. And then to go after 30 seconds, then you go to the recovery pad, and you can walk, you can dance, you can do whatever. And the purpose of that is to give your muscles a rest, but we want to keep your heart beat up. In a little bit, you will hear this prompt you to take your heart rate. We are always checking heart rates.
Okay.
We have a chart that shows you where you're supposed to be. If you're below that chart, you're not working hard enough. If you're above it, slow down. Your heart rate's gotten up too high. Now, my other one is my leg press. And it's very simple. Now, I worked my upper body, so I'm going to let my upper body rest. Now I'm working my hamstrings and my quadriceps. So I'm just sitting very still. I don't want my arms doing anything because they just worked out. They got to rest. And now I'm working my legs. And then when it tells me to change stations, my recovery. And that's all it is to curves. You go around twice, you're going to work everything twice, but 30 seconds, that's it. From the time you walk in that door to the time you walk out, it's 30 minutes.
Okay.
And let you talk like I did. But I'm in here.
She can't talk. She keeps working.
Because we're facing each other, we get to know each other and we're friends.
Okay.
That's correct.
Awesome. I love that. I love that it's such a quick workout and you're focused on, and you were just showing us a couple of the machines. There's a whole circuit that you do.
Yes, we've got 11 machines, 30 seconds apiece, 30 seconds on the recovery pad.
Yep.
The first 3 machines are warm up. The last 3 machines you do are cool down.
Okay.
Then when you're all done, you go back to the stretcher, which is back here.
Okay.
I've also, as long as I'm pointing, I've got classes going back there. So we have a lot of classes that when you're on the recovery, you can do that. A lot of them are balance and a lot of stretching back there.
Okay.
Okay, so that's curves.
That's
Come
great.
with us. We have a lot of fun in here.
Okay, so now that once you have your workout, we want to refuel, right? So
Yes. I always tell members, you've got to go home and get some protein. We've worked those muscles, but you've educated me. We need more than protein.
Right.
Okay.
You want to
I'm going to go get my van while you get busy.
Okay, sure. So yeah, you want to replenish both carbohydrates as well as protein after a workout. And a lot of people are looking towards, I'm getting a lot of questions right now because I think it's getting into the summer months. We want something grab and go and something quick and cold. And so everybody's kind of focused on making smoothies. So I'm going to show you how to make a smoothie and make it so that it's balanced. And so it has that carbs, protein, and a little bit of fat, because that way it will make you feel full longer after you have your snack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, there is no recipe to this, okay? The recipe to this is actually just my plate. When you make a smoothie, what I want you to do is I want you to think about half of your smoothie should be produce. You should have a quarter of protein and a quarter of like more carbohydrates from more fruit, or you could add flaxseed or something like that to it. So the base of a smoothie is, if you, ideally you use milk, okay? Milk is a great combination of carbohydrates and protein. If you are not able to tolerate milk, if you have an intolerance, I would recommend soy milk as your alternative, okay? So soy milk is a great backup because it's also very close in terms of the makeup of a milk to the soy milk, because that's what we want. We want carbohydrates and protein. If you are an almond milk drinker, this would not work. It would not be a substitute, because we want, at a My Plate balance, we want to have a dairy source there. And we want it there because it has carbohydrates and protein. And almond milk and some of those other milks may not be the same. So I've added a cup of milk to my blender. Okay, so I tell you, this is exactly what I do for breakfast on most mornings. I will do a cup of milk, and actually I'll confess I make chocolate milk. I like to do chocolate milk. And I will do a banana, and I will do peanut butter. And so that's my normal breakfast.
Is that whole milk or skim milk or low fat?
We keep skim milk in the house. We don't have any young kids in the house that require whole milk or anything like that. So you can use whatever you prefer. Because I'm adding the peanut butter and there's fat in my peanut butter, I don't need fat in the milk too. So that's why I generally go with skim milk. If you can't do peanut butter or an almond butter or some sort of nut butter, then you might want to do a whole fat milk or something like that. Okay, so because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my milk in a blender, and Megan, my assistant here, I forgot to get the flaxseed out of the refrigerator, so that was my grain. So it might be in the back of the iced tea area, but there might be something there.
Where do you find flaxseed in the grocery store?
Generally in the baking aisle, or you'll find it sometimes in a cereal aisle, and but some sort of these days they've been kind of moving them around. Sometimes I've seen it. You can even do oatmeal, like oats. You could put oats into your cereal. But like I said, My Plate, you've got a quarter grains, quarter protein, and then half produce and dairy. So what I will do is, because I'm doing it as a smoothie, the thing I don't normally do for breakfast is some frozen fruit. But you want some frozen fruit to act like your ice and to make your smoothie nice and cold. So what I will do is I'm going to do a half of a banana, because I'll have plenty of fruit with my other fruit that I'm adding. A lot of people, when they make smoothies, they tend to be high in carbohydrate and then nothing else. So you want to make sure that it is balanced. So I'm going to add in the rest of these cherries. I love the combination of cherries and peanut butter and chocolate is delicious. And don't worry if your cherries are getting kind of ice crystally. Those are great for smoothies. It might not be great for eating, but it's great for smoothies. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add my a tablespoon of peanut butter.
So we have like a cup of milk in there, a tablespoon of peanut butter, a half a banana. Just throw in some frozen fruit.
Throw in some frozen fruit. And then I'm going to pour a little bit of fiber and kind of some whole grains. I'm using this flaxseed meal. Flaxseed can come also in like a whole flaxseed, but when it's whole, your body won't digest it. So if you do the flaxseed meal, you're actually going to get a lot of the micronutrients that are in the flaxseed. So I'm just going to add like a heaping teaspoon of that, just to add a little bit. The serving here is like 2 tablespoons, has 3 grams of fiber. So I don't know if I did 2 tablespoons. Maybe I'll add another like tablespoon. It's going to be very filling. All right. And then finally, I think this is my last ingredient. Like I said, I drink chocolate milk. So I use Nesquik. I never buy chocolate milk. I never buy a flavored milk. I never buy a flavored milk, like chocolate already into it. When you add chocolate yourself, you're in much better control of how much added sugar you're adding to it. So I'm just going to add, I usually add, for 1 cup of milk I add like 2 tablespoons of Nesquik. So that's it. I will just make this into a smoothie. And if you're not a big fan of chocolate, you certainly do not need to add the chocolate to it. It would be delicious probably without it. But that's it. That's how you make a smoothie. And I love
it's so easy.
How easy it is to clean up too. Once you pour this into a cup and take it with you on your go while you're on the go, then this is really easy to clean by adding a little hot water with a little dash of soap, and then run it again, and it's all clean. So
amazing. Amazing.
Yes.
All right. And now I have heard the chocolate milk. You know, if I ever do those walks in the park at the state park or the city park, they always have chocolate milk when you're finished. So there's something about chocolate milk replacing everything.
Right. So if you are finishing a workout and let's say you can't get to a meal or something substantial in the next hour, or 2 hours, then doing a glass of chocolate milk is the super fast, easy way to get that balance of 2 carbohydrates to 1 protein. Like it's a ratio of 2 carbs to 1 protein. And when you add chocolate milk to the regular milk, that's kind of where it gets to that. And that's why it's one of the options. You could also just make yourself a half a sandwich or something like that too.
Yeah, or a piece of cheese or something to get some kind of protein or something in there.
Right. Yeah. But if you do cheese, you also want to add an apple or a piece of fruit with it because you want the carbohydrates too.
Yeah, okay. All right. I'm getting that. I'm seeing that.
It's okay. It's complicated. So,
all right, I brought up my pen to show you. You can do this at home. If you can't get into the club, you say it's too far to go. We have My Curves on Demand, or you can get a combo. You can come in the club and you can also do it at home. You can bring up My Curves on Demand on your computer, on your smartphone, on your iPad. You're even supposed to bring it up on your smart TV. However, I couldn't get it, and my granddaughter, who's a tech savvy type person, she said, Grandma, your TV's not smart enough. So I don't know how to do that on the TV, but I do know people that have done it. Anyhow, this band, it is made covered with this. They don't break, but should they break, and then it's got this fabric that you're not going to get snapped. Also, if you get this up against your skin, you're not going to be rubbing rubber against your skin. You're not going to hurt yourself. But there's a whole, each week they add 2 more classes to the library, and I think right now there's close to 100 different classes. So it depends on what you feel like doing. There are 30-minute workouts. There's also express. I haven't got time to do 30 minutes. Okay, do 15 minutes. But all kinds of good things. I'm going to do this, which that's my bicep triceps.
Yep.
So you just do this at home. They've got music. They tell you when your 30 seconds are up. Another bicep tricep, of course, is this. So I'm just making it stronger. And then, of course, there's the good old squat, which who doesn't need help with your abdomen and your glutes? So you just bring this up and you squat down, and you're using those muscles. So you use every muscle. Do not have to go out. We did a lot of this during the pandemic. Do it at home. So
awesome.
Right now, we've got a great deal going on. You join now, and the first 30 days are free. So, Laura, I have eating problems that I need to address, such as I eat way too much sugar. So should I come to you to help me get off the sugar, or how should I do that?
I'll help you put sugar in its place, maybe. I don't believe that we have to avoid sugar completely. So
Yay!
I do talk about that a lot, because a lot of people think that we are addicted to sugar. Well, you know, the body's preferred fuel source is carbohydrates, which is a type of sugar. So your body is going to want this, but there's a way that you can eat that can help avoid those cravings of sugar. So yeah, definitely, if anybody is interested, they can come and just connect with me, and I can set them up with an appointment, an initial assessment. And a lot of times insurance will cover these visits with the dietitian. We're halfway through the calendar year. This is something I just promoted is, you know, you have some benefits for visiting with the dietitian, so take advantage of that as part of your insurance plan. So I have people call me. I'll put them into some systems. I'll have them complete some paperwork, and then I'll call the insurance and see what's going to be covered, and then we can get started.
Okay, the other thing is my blood pressure and the pandemic. I had my blood pressure under control, then the pandemic hit. And put me back on meds. I know just getting back into curves is going to help, and getting back into a regular exercise. But what other good foods are good for lowering my blood pressure?
So yeah, a lot of times we focus on what we should be eliminating from our diet, but the reality is we need to focus on what to include. And for blood pressure and just general health, adding your fruits and vegetables. Are you getting a minimum of 5 servings of fruits and vegetables? I would work up to that if you're not there. And then for blood pressure, the recommendation with the DASH diet is to get even more, like 8 to 10 servings of fruits and vegetables per day, which is quite a bit of fruits and vegetables. That's when a smoothie might come in handy and make it easier to get to.
Well, I did read somewhere, leave your fruits and vegetables in the front of the refrigerator. So when you open that door looking for something, right there's the fruit.
Yep.
And grab a handful. So I'm trying to do that. Keep it front and center.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, my recommendation is, like, every time, if I don't have a fruit or a vegetable, every time I sit down to eat, I can't get to that 5 servings a day. So I need to make sure that every time I eat, I do have a fruit or a vegetable with my meal or snack. And that helps a lot. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Curves does have a plan for eating healthy, but we're not dietitians like Laura and her group are. So yeah, we'll help you with eating healthy, and yeah, it's fruits, vegetables, lean meat,
Whole grains.
yeah, whole grain. But
Dairy. We need to make our bones strong. A lot of us after age 50, if we're not getting dairy in our diet, our body will pull it from our bones and make our bones weaker and weaker. So it's very important, and a lot of people, this is another thing that I find that's missing in the diet that we need to add in. Yep.
That's one thing I need to concentrate more on. Ice cream doesn't quite make the dairy work.
It does, actually. Ice cream is an excellent source of calcium and vitamin D.
I know it is. I know it is, but that's not. That's it's like to have something sweet after every meal.
Right, you don't, that would be a little much. You definitely kind of don't want to be doing a high full-fat dairy every time you have dairy if you're trying to watch that waistline.
Right.
It's going in the wrong direction, yeah.
Okay. Good comment, Laura. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, it was nice talking to you, Barb, and
thank you.
Thank you all for listening, and I hope you enjoy your smoothies this summer.
Yes, I'm going to. I'm going to go home and make one. Sounds great. Thanks, Laura.
Bye.
See everybody. Call Curves, Nutrition and Action.
Nutrition Action.
Yeah.